y'all? What's going on? Welcome back. Psychedelic Saturdays back in the building again. Hey man, somebody really don't want y'all to get this message about Malcolm, man. Cause I had some shit happen last week. We'll get into that another time. That's a whole nother episode. And then just now I went to record and for some odd reason my damn microphone wasn't working. But anyway, so not gonna stop me. So gotta get this message out. But first of all, one more time, check the shut up. If I can get you to thinking, you will save yourself. If I can get you to thinking, you will save yourself. Check it out, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Check my man out, man. Development Thoughts. Developmentthoughts.com. That's developmentthoughts.com. I'm gonna put the link in the comments when I get done. Y'all can check my man out, check the Noble out. He got some fire ass clothing for y'all, man. For the culture, just for you to get some more swag in your life, if I must say. Check him out though, man. Check him out. Like I said, man, my message today is about Malcolm. Uh, as you all may know or may not know, last week was the anniversary of his death. And I said to myself today, man, I find it funny that Malcolm don't get the recognition like Martin does. No disrespect to Martin, but I'm just saying, why doesn't Malcolm get the same? Why doesn't he get the same treatment like Malcolm? I mean, like Martin. Something y'all should think about. I think we should be honoring him just the way we honor we honor Martin, especially with his, date of his death being so-called Black History Month. Why are we not making it something big? I think it should be made big. I think that's how I feel about it. I think it should be made big. So I think we as a culture should be more in tune into, saying, represent the other people that help pave the way as well. And not just the people that they just want us to know about or want us to celebrate. Just something y'all think about. But yeah, so one of my psychedelic journeys or my spiritual journeys or the conversation, as you can say, that I had was with Malcolm. And great conversation, great conversation. Uh, my psychedelic journeys that I'm going to share with you guys are going to be for you and for me, meaning that I still have parts of my journey that I'm going to keep to myself. But what I'm sharing with you guys is very informative and it's going to be very helpful. Just want you to know that. Okay. So I always wanted to know why Malcolm was uh, killed, assassinated, murdered, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, his life was taken, and he's no longer with us here physically. But I always wanted to know why. So, the conversation I had with him, he asked me, he say, "So you want to know?" I say, "Yeah, I do. I really want to know why." So if you guys have or have not seen the movie, there's a part in the movie where Malcolm approaches Elijah Muhammad and questions him about having relationships with uh, underage girls, teenage girls, and not just having relationships with them, but ultimately getting them pregnant, having babies behind, then pretty much not having nothing to do with them after that. And once Malcolm got wind of that, he did his homework. He went and did his homework. He dug deep into the situation, talked to multiple women that had relationships with Elijah Muhammad, and once he got the facts that he needed, he went and he questioned, which he had every right. If you look at the world right now, that's it's a lot of that going on, man. Just sick, and this is supposed to be somebody that he looked up to, somebody that that they was following, and I tell you, you shouldn't follow no man. Malcolm learned that later on, though. He learned that later on, and just for him to go approach him, that was almost, I guess, looked at as disrespectful because, the, I guess you could say the ranking order of the nation, Malcolm, I guess, wasn't in the right place to do that. But that's just who Malcolm was. That's what he stood for. And I don't think it really mattered who he was. He was gonna pull up on him and question him about it. That's what he did. So of course, by that time though, Malcolm had already grew a side eye from certain people in the nation anyway, because of how powerful his speeches was. And, the attention he was getting from his speeches, a lot of people inside the nation was, hating on him. They was hating on him. So throwing him a lot of hate. And, that word was getting back then. He kind of knew what was really going on for him. He already knew that it was people that really didn't rock with him right then. So so pulling up on Elijah really, put a big spotlight on him. So, they pretty much silent Malcolm after that. And, that's probably like the second time they silent him. I think the first time they silent him, when he said something about Kennedy, they had silent him too. Made him not be able to talk for a while. So like I said, it's crazy, man. Like these groups and stuff, how he try to just take somebody's voice away. And that's ultimately what they wanted to do, is take Malcolm's voice. So they did whatever they was going to do. Malcolm took that time and went and did some soul searching. Went to Mecca, took a deep look into what he was practicing, and took a deep look into himself and just you know life. Period. And he came back and had a new way of thinking and a new way of moving, and realized that the community he was about to build now was going to be more about just bringing people together and just fight for one common cause, and that's just freedom. That was it. And yes, Malcolm and Martin were doing the same thing, but they moved differently. And I always been a big Malcolm fan, specifically because of how he moved, how he stood on his 10 toes, how he didn't allow anyone to push him over, man. And that's ultimately what God wants for us as a people, as his children. He wants to stand up for ourselves. Because at the end of the day, God gonna have our back. Because what we stand up for is right. We gotta stand up for our sovereignty, because we are sovereign. Malcolm knew that. That's why he changed his name when he came back from Mecca. He changed his name to a sovereign name, or a sovereign appellation. That's what he did, because he knew that we were a nation of people and not just categorized as one, or this one color, or this one spectrum, or this whatever. We were just a nation of people, and everybody had their nation, everybody had their people, and he knew that. See, him and Fidel Castro were ultimately doing the same thing, and that's why they was trying to come together. They were just trying to bring the nations of people together, and that's ultimately why they killed Fidel Castro too. It's the same thing. So Malcolm gets back, looking to start a new community, and that wasn't going to go well, because At that time, they knew that Malcolm had a nice stronghold on certain people because, like I said, his speeches were getting to a lot of people. They were reaching a lot of people. So he had a lot of people that was riding for him. That was riding for him, and they was looking for him to step out on his own. And not only didn't the nation want that, but you had state and federal officials that didn't want to need. So you gotta realize, man, that Malcolm's death is deeper than just the nation. See, that was carefully set up, very well strategized, and they knew exactly what they was doing. And even to this day, I think it was a couple of years ago, 2 maybe 3 years ago, they said that they was gonna bring up charges against NYPD, you know, uh, for Malcolm's death. Never heard nothing else about it. Another person you need to watch out for, and Malcolm was trying to warn us too about our people. A lot of people are snakes. You gotta watch out for them. The same guy that stood up there with Malcolm's daughter is the same guy that's always standing around for everybody when it comes to the culture. You ever, you ever wonder why it's always just him? He's another pawn in the game too. He played both sides of the field, and they use him on the other side too. So that's why I'm not kind of surprised nothing's been done yet. A lot of times he just for show, not really trying to make no changes, not trying to really make a difference. If you really pay attention to him, he just want to be seen, man. Just so y'all know that. But yeah. So the main reason why is because of what happened with uh with Elijah Muhammad. They didn't want a secret coming out. Everything you do in the dark will come out in the light. And see, that secret got brought to the light. He ain't like it. And it causes a ripple effect, not just to the nation, but to those involved. And unfortunately, Malcolm was the one involved because he was the one that brought it to the forefront, brought it to the table. And they ain't like that. He didn't like that. That's almost like somebody questioning a higher authority, or you questioning your mother or your father or something like that. They're not gonna take that kindly. Malcolm was in every right, but that is ultimately why they took him out, right? Because he knew something that wasn't supposed to have gotten up. And on top of that, man, like I said, he was gaining a lot of he was gaining a lot of power, and not just on no power kick power. I mean, just from what he was saying, the truthful word that was coming out of his mouth was gaining him a lot of power. Yeah, and he was getting ready to build something strong, man. That was going to change the world, man. This world don't like changes, but right now, it don't really matter. The world is changing regardless, if people like it or not. It's changing for the good though, for some, for others, it is what it is. But I just wanted to get on here, man, and give all the respect and the honor to my man Malcolm X. Because even though we as a culture not gonna celebrate him, man, give him, what I'm saying, keep giving him his flowers. You know what? I say, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'll you know what I'm saying? I'll speak on it. Yes, I know it's a week after, but that ain't the point. The point is that I'm gonna keep speaking for him and speaking about him and putting the truth out about him. Because this is the truth. This is what happened. They don't want y'all to know that, but it is. And remember, at the end of the day, the Nation of Islam is nothing but another religious group. That's all it is. There's another religious group causing more separation and division, and that's what Malcolm didn't want. He didn't want no separation and division. He was trying to bring everybody together. That's really what he was trying to do. But as you can see in this world today, right now that we live in, it's hard for us to work together, especially our culture. It's crazy, crazy work, bro. Crazy, crazy, crazy work. Gotta get better, man. Gotta get better. But once again, like I said, shout out to my man Malcolm. May his soul live forever, as I know it is. And somebody like me will continue to speak the word that you were not just giving us, but also showing us too. Appreciate that. You will live on always, man. Peace out, y'all. I'll see y'all again. That's another psychedelic Saturday. I'm out.